and what we just did and kind of go from there. So what should we show first? You want to show the that results page or what?
Yeah, that page is pretty cool. Yeah. I'd say that's pretty important.
Did you see the new Adobe Spark that is an app on your phone, and you can actually live website type PDFs?
It's like a.
No, I haven't.
Here,
It's like a
link. I'm gonna shoot the link out in chat. Go ahead.
It's like Adobe Muse for brochures.
Adobe Muse.
Yeah,
That's another.
Muse.
That's an Illustrator thing, huh?
No, Muse. You can make websites in it. So I guess the content website designer guy would be the one who did that.
Because Adobe has Dreamweaver, man. See,
I couldn't even name half the Adobe products.
Well, I thought I could name all of them until I just brought up Muse. Jeez. All right, in here. SEO live results, or is this it? Oh man, you got calls coming in too. Hold on. What was the main goal of today? You want to talk about the mirrored plugins and that being the finance thing?
Yeah.
I mean, because traditionally people are just selling phone calls with lead generation right now. Right? It kind of takes it to a different level.
Awesome. That we're doing. You can site with any of the structure behind it.
The link juice. It also gives us the ability to actually site, so we don't have to build it.
Yep.
That was great. Except for this one, we did build.
We did.
I wanted this one for the show on this one.
If it doesn't look good, it's his fault, but it did it.
He did all the graphics on there. We already went over this. All right, so I'm going to switch this around, guys, so you can kind of see some of the results that we've had so far with the local SEO. Now, here's the other thing. I say this thing's all about sales and getting it out there. I can rant, honestly, with lead generation for myself. It's all about the hyper local market. And I know a lot of people are having trouble with the whole Google my business, saying they're cracking down, all kinds of things like that. It's not really the case. It's actually, in my opinion, gotten easier to rank on Google Maps than anything else. And I'll show you some of the results I've seen. But it's more about, you can't go in and aim for just a keyword and let's talk about what niche is going to be the easiest to rank for. It can't be looked at like that. It's got to be looked at as an actual value process and product. I mean, if you're doing affiliate marketing, that's go for it. But if you're actually trying to do service and sell leads or work with the company and bring value to that company, you're going to want to look at it as a hyper local standpoint. I mean, the clients that we have calling, I think one of my lines alone right now has about I think it was 89% close rate over the phone when somebody calls in. Yeah. And it's because they're finding the right thing at the right time. So if you can rank those local markets with this thing.
And like, to go off what you just said, it's not all about his keyword and getting a site to the top, because we want to target keywords that client, that lead is actually worth enough money to make it worth it to do all the work to build the site. And then that way we can convert these rank and rent sites for a good amount of money each month instead of, $50 a month.
Yeah, no, it's all about value. I mean, if you're bringing the right client all the time, like I was just saying too, one of my lead gen systems that actually switched over to rank and rent recently. We were just talking to the owner today, and they're actually only through like 25% because of their spend. They started about 3/4 into the month, 3/4 into the month. So they've gone through a little bit of their actual lead generation spend. They've already seen what were we looking at, like 350% ROI, and they still have 75% of their budget to go. So that one we're definitely talking about reinvesting, and that's the nice thing with the rank and rent situations is if you're just ranking out like one keyword, one segment, one industry. I mean, you come in and you just rank for the next one, and you can work with the same client, and essentially you can keep ranking around what they do for all their different services. You can be doing part rank and rent, part lead generation. I always open and leave the door open for some lead generation if we bring some clients in ourselves. So that's a huge thing there. I don't know if this is the correct link. here.
Is this the one too?
Adobe Spark. So I'll keep trying to get to that. So I'll talk about one of the big sales processes that we did. Of course, we tried, because everybody's talking about the cold calls, how difficult a cold call can tend to be. I mean, I love cold calling only because, yeah,
it is kind of fun in a painful kind of way.
If you're into that kind of thing. No, but
it's like who working out in the gym all the time. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is satisfying if that's your thing.
Yeah,
me either.
Yeah, no, but I've been doing it. It's so long. It's like after you start to actually get into it, I know it's difficult at first. And having to even pick up that call and get told no so many times that it'll beat somebody up. So you got to have tough skin, but it turns into muscle memory, and it's all about pivoting conversations. And it's almost going to seem like a dance or a boxing match. And when you actually look at it like that and look at it for fun, it gets a lot easier. It also gets to the point of something I always look at when it comes to the cold call aspect is getting basically a batting average. Batting average. It's I know how many no's it's going to take before I eventually get a yes. You know, I can tell you exactly right now, I have a 93% close ratio. It was almost a 98 up until this last week when I was trying to pitch you some of these ranking events, but I think I'm actually going to turn around and close all those. I'm going to try and have it back up to 100% for a 6-month interval is my goal. Nice. So I'll sell something to them. But it's about coming in, and it's not because we're selling a product. It's not selling products. We have solutions for them. But you end up getting a batting average. You know how many people are going to hang up on you when it comes to cold calls. Months of doing it, you're going to know it literally it gets down to a science almost, and you got to kind of trust that process and really kill.
No, it really does work that way. So me and Dana both have a lot of experience in cold calling and working the numbers game. Literally get it down to the point where it's like, okay, I need to make 300 calls deal. And if you've only made 100 calls that month, the only reason you're not closing that deal isn't because you suck at sales. It's because you need to get the deal. So if you have this many deals, putting in the work so you can track your progress, and then you can reverse engineer things, and that's when it starts getting fun.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And more than that, I look at it as less of a picture too, because I know how many now. I haven't always had a 90, that high of a close ratio. It took 2 days or 3 days in sales.
Yeah, it took 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, like I had it by the time I started when I was 9, about 9.5. I had it.
Yeah,
but you start to look at it more as how many notes does it take to get an appointment, and then you can boil it down more. How many appointments does it take to get that sale? So then you can kind of quarter it out and know I need 4 appointments if I have a 25% close ratio, and in order to get 1 appointment, I need to make 60 calls. See, it's crazy because you think everybody's different. There's going to be so many variables in the situation, but there's years and years where it's literally the same every time. What you're calling digital tends to be a lot harder of a cold call.
I think the reason that it's so much harder is because it's kind of it's me. Mm-hmm. If I'm selling Bob's Burgers his meat for that month, like he knows how many patties he's supposed to get, and he can do the inventory, and he knows how long it's going to last him. But phone calls are kind of more abstract, and that's where it comes down to, I think, just being an effective communicator.
It's always been so. I've always said, like, selling advertising is literally the same thing as selling air. It's one of the hardest products to sell. Like, you sell a car, you're going to go and hand them the car. They're going to drive away happy. You go in and you're selling advertising. Essentially, you're handing over a promise, not even a guarantee. It's like there's not even a promise behind it. Yeah, you literally hand out air. You hand out air, they hand you back. But in our industry, this is why I love it so much, because I actually I used to sell the phone book back when it worked. I had a publication that I sold for a while, and that was even more of air because there's no guarantee that anybody's going to open the phone book that month. There's no guarantee that anybody's going to pick up that publication. But we know, we can look at metrics and know that there's going to be 3,000 searches in a month for that direct product. And when we bring it down to lead generation, we're actually bringing the horse to water. Of course, at the end of the day, it's going to be up to the client to get them to drink, unless you actually do pay per appointment, which is something we've been crushing lately. So, That's something too we can get into. If anybody has questions on that later, we can definitely talk on it. But like you said, it is one of the hardest things to sell because you are selling air. I mean, I'd rather sell ice to Eskimos, which I've done before. Yeah, really. I told you about that.
Sell shampoo to a bald guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, cool story. Because when I first started, one of my first territories was Alaska. One of the first restaurants in Alaska, and that restaurant happened to be an ice cream shop. So technically,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I sold a lot of people.
Eskimos.
Yeah. So knock that one out of the park. All right, I'm gonna switch it around, guys. I'll show you some of the results here, and also this Adobe Spark situation. It's a suite that just came out on the phone. App. Whoa. Let me know what you think. Here. All right, so we'll pop that on. So this is actually, like I said, this can be as a PDF, it can be a link, it can be embedded, but it's a great way to pass files around. I actually started building how-to guides and things like that in it as well. You can interact. You can actually put videos embedded into it and all kinds of neat things. So I kind of scroll down there, and you can see these results that are on here right now that I'm showing off. And I am showing them. So I'm super proud of these. I don't care. These are 100% local markets. So these are a couple some lead generation sites, a couple clients. But every time I have a Google My Business up on the screen, or this kind of graph, it's literally for that one area. That's just a YouTube video there that ranked up to the top, which we'll talk about that shortly. You know, I've got times on here. I've literally got multiple industries that I'm taking over the entire page right now with the local market. So it's no surprise that, you know, you're getting 1.9K. And that's 100% increase from the month before. Like that's, I love seeing those results there. So you scroll down, and this one was another one that was huge. I believe the markup on that one was 476,000% increase. It was only because it was at zero the month before, man. Like we just came in and swinging. So you see a couple of them here. Like these are all different properties here. This is a quarter view, but it's 6.9K views. And then you come down into
some of these views don't really have context. Those 6.9K views are in an extremely competitive industry.
It's more than that, because I wish right now I put this too big, but I actually have it to where, so no, here's what it is. So it would show searches here. So it was actually involved, this one I did backwards here. 11.4K searches, right? That the listing was involved with. It's that same one that actually had views in that same quarter span. 3 months out of 11,000, 6.9 actually clicked up on the listing and opened it up to look more on them. Now we build our listings just as aggressively as we build our landing pages.
Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody's looking at my listing, it's a line and sinker right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's business 101, but you'd be amazed how many people overlook asking for business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to ask. It's something that we should all be doing, but a lot of people do overlook that and just assume, oh, people know they're here to buy something. It's no, you got to ask.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And we make sure the call to action is literally ask.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be fancy in it. I don't have to do discounts. I never do anything like that. Value for the client. I'd like to get them almost a full price client, marked minus whatever we have worked out. That way they're not losing out. I mean, they lose out more doing. I mean, Groupon was huge for a while. That was horrible.
Oh man.
I talked to so many people where they just literally lost 50% of their income. Like they were actually paying to do Groupon, even though they got 2,000, 3,000 people into the shop.
when people are still doing a Groupon, I'm just like, how do they not know?
Yeah.
That this is horrible.
Yeah. So while we got originally back into the sales call talk, so I want to show you guys something here. And Jason, like I said, we got Jason on the line. He's killers out in Canada. He's running this phone sales team here. But I mean, these guys are going out, and I'll show you a little bit on our tracking system here. But what is it, Jason? What do you got? 300 calls a day? You still with me, buddy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 300 calls.
300 calls. Have you figured out what your batting average?
300 calls.
Man, we were at about a appointment a day off each of those sets of 300. Am I wrong, or was it 2 appointments a day?
I think it's 2, man.
It was 2. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of lost. I got lost in this ranking rant side the last few days and launching. So yeah, no, it was about 2 a day, but it's literally
No worries, man.
direct cold call. What do you think about calling in and selling SEO and bulk phone calls like that? Any tips or pointers?
No, man, just do it. Listen to Dana and just do it.
Yeah, no, that was fun. We actually went to full training. Now, I can't remember, before we started together, I know you've had a bunch of sales. Did you ever do SEO directly sales or cold call for SEO programs?
Never actually.
Okay. So, I mean, I think when I look at it, you actually jumped on a training with me. We got you on the phone, and I think it was within, what was it, the second day you had already landed the first appointment, and we basically closed that deal, right? Or am I having my days mixed up? Was it the first day?
Yo, I think it's the first day, but
I think so too, man. Well, no, I say basically close that deal because we had quite a few. Basically, every pitch that got brought on, the person was 100% interested and ready to go on that. But we didn't want to. I wanted to really test, like I said, it with the sales method of selling SEO and the different processes, just so I can have the data and numbers. I mean, we have this guy crushing it on the phone sales, so we know what having a good outbound sales team is. You know, we know what closing the deal is. Like they would say, call back, let's go ahead and get started on Wednesday. You know, that was 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't we weren't going after that. We were looking for the right person to take over the site, but 2, we wanted to try all the different processes. And by processes, I mean, you look at his numbers, like I said, 300 calls a day. We tracked just about every single one on there and got all the metrics from that. But then we did things like went and built and ranked ourselves in the area to see what inbound calls from just generated from just ranking for SEO look like.
And I think that was pretty powerful when it came around to selling, because, you know, we can already say we have this many calls coming in and they need to go to somebody. So just gives you more value the more experimenting in the markets that you do before you start selling these sites.
Oh yeah. If you had a presence there, what do you think, Jason, as far as the conversations went? Did having a presence or running all those different things, you think you felt it over the phone, like once they saw or did a search online of who we were, what we were doing, that it was a conversation?
Definitely. You know, just you guys are reputable, so that helped a lot. Not selling bullshit.
It is.
Actually
Yeah, man. And it's not even a reputable thing too. It was easy to do. Literally, we went in Oakland, SEO, Oakland SEO for attorneys, and you're gonna find 3 of my videos on number 1, 2, and 3. Like literally, the number 1 spot under the ads is my 3 videos, and then you go down in the website's.
I think so, yeah.
With that article, with the direct article that we wrote, and it was a true article, all the numbers are 100% there for the catcher there in the hook. So we actually had on there 1.7, and I'll actually show it to you. Just a second here. I'll pull it up. So the heading on there is literally how we beat Google AdWords and gained one of our attorneys, 1.7 million in click costs, or no, what would have been equal to 1.75, right?
Yeah. Doing a Google ad campaign. Honestly, probably more. Probably a lot more.
Yeah, and that wasn't even counting any of the that was all organic, or that was all organic Google Map listing clicks.
Didn't even count everything to the site.
Yeah, I didn't want to count any of the long tail keywords or the stories or anything like that. Yeah, there it is right there. I mean, any way you type it in, it's going to pop up here. But we got all 3 sites. These are all 3 mine. So they click on there, they're already going to know about us and know what we do. Oh, look, it just moved up number 1.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a site, How I Beat AdWords, SEO for Attorneys. I mean, it's literally clickbait. So we try to get the reputation out there, but using the having the highly targeted local process first, and then coming in with a strong, a strong SEO backing on this thing. We went nuts on properly backlinking everything, and actually got the first video ranked within 6 hours of it hitting YouTube. So that was another huge feat. We were actually in halfway up the page for the search 6 hours after it showed on YouTube. Yeah. All 3 of these videos did, and then they just stacked up perfectly. So it wasn't something that, we had to wait and break ground for a month, which honestly, even if it is something that takes that long to rank, you think about it like this. If you're just starting out building the rank and rent site, it's going to take you 30 days to kick the thing out from start to finish, my guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
we pump them out over here. we get stuff done over here, but yeah.
I think we built the last one in 6 hours.
It's a little time. Yeah.
But the linking, we had to slow drip the linking over the month, but it's all good. But I mean, the average site, start to finish, get everything cleaned up, wrapped up, and just kind of letting it go and then stepping back a little bit. Usually about 30 days, but you can be doing a second one at the same time for yourself for some long tail keywords that are still hyper targeted for what you're doing. And if it's not hyper targeted, it can be something to help your sales team if you are doing the outbound effort. It's night and day, because I when I'm sitting there doing the cold calls too, or when I'm sitting here with Jason and he's doing them, we're setting the appointments. I mean, once they start to kind of give you that smoke screen negative feedback, coming in saying, let me show you. Are you in front of a computer? I mean, I don't know how you haven't heard of us. Just type in, you're an attorney, right? Just type in Oakland SEO for attorneys, and they do, and they say that that's who we represent. The brand recognition, automatically they know they're talking to somebody authoritative, so it works out. But it's also a really cool notch on the bedpost.
Yeah, and I've been working with you for a while now, Dana, and when you no. What I'm saying is when you have so many number one spot ranked websites, like, people are going to be calling you. We've had all sorts of stories about people calling us. Sometimes they're curious or wondering what we're doing. Sometimes they're really mad. I mean, it's just crazy. You're definitely getting attention by having that first place, because there's so many business owners, they're all fighting to be there. And I mean, when we just jump right up there like it's nothing, some people want to know what we're doing and some people want to kill us.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. The funny thing too about that is there is no, I actually don't put my number on anything. You can't find my phone number on the websites. You can on Facebook, but if I've added you personally on Facebook, I'll probably talk to you. So you can go in there and kind of dig it that way, but my phone number is not anywhere. So, when they're still calling, somehow getting the cell phone number, it's a very interested warm lead, or a very heated warm lead, because they just lost their placing, which it's not, again, what we're doing here is, and I know some people are just jumping on, is we've come in and we've strengthened the local process. We Google My Business listings, Google Maps, getting, not even just that, I'm talking every directory out there. Being hyper local and building a foundation to your SEO, and I'll get this off the screen for you guys. It is literally, it's everything. If you can sit there and build the best SEO program and the most backlinks you possibly could, you can build this thing up like a skyscraper, but if you got no foundation, the whole program's going to crumble. And again, if you're just chasing like skyscraper type keywords, there's no purpose in doing lead generation or rank and rent, because you're not going to bring value to anybody. The client's going to get tons of traffic, but again, what's traffic? Like, traffic, I see when somebody starts talking about traffic to a website or the number of hits the site got, I'm already snoozing. I know the business owner is, but at the same time, it's compared to, what am I saying? The circulation that like the phone books and the newspapers used to talk about. Like, hey, we print out 100,000 issues. It's like, great. Did you ever see that video where there's 50% of your guys' phone books don't even go out and they sit on an island out floating in the oceans? Have you seen that one?
Or like, I haven't seen that one, but I know one, the little coupon mailer people like to say. What are they called? They're like, yeah, we have a 90% open rate. And it's like, yeah, you probably have 100% throw in the trash rate right after that. Like, what does that even mean? 90% open rate. Actually,
one of my first, I have to find it and dig it up, but one of my first ads for a web design and SEO company that I designed is I actually went around town and I went to the post office first. and on money in the mail, the mailer thing day when they were all coming in, like the coupons, all that stuff. And they put a big bin, like, I mean, this thing's huge, in the middle of the post office where everybody just chucks the crap that they're not going to bring home in.
Nice.
And they sit there and pulled out those clams. So I took a picture of that. And then I mixed a bunch of other pictures where I went around and like took pictures of apartment trash cans right next to the mailbox. Where
It's always just filled with
and that
credit
was
card offers and
yeah
coupons and all that stuff.
Yep, and that was and I did a full page. I did the first half of it was the picture of all those garbage cans. The second picture was just a picture of garbage cans full of money. And it says, "Where are you throwing away your advertising dollars?" And then I just said,
That's so perfect, man.
Yep. And I just said marketing gurus on there. It was a crusher. Like I got so many phone calls off that.
That's awesome.
A lot of anger calls too. Again, it's another story though.
And I mean, to like bring it all together, like what we're doing with the digital foundations, and the reason why it's hard to sell this stuff and things like that. I mean, there's all a reason for all the stuff that we're doing, and a lot of it's because so many business owners have been burned by just this fly-by-night SEO guy who watched a couple YouTube videos and started a business, or maybe.
Yeah, and it gets even worse because there's so much misinformation out there right now. That drives me nuts. I mean, I got a couple articles out about that. You guys can check them out. But the misinformation, I don't get it. That you got people that consider gurus. There's a lot of good ones out there. I follow a lot of great guys. They're phenomenal at what they do. But there's also a lot that even in that, there's misinformation thrown out there, mix it up, and they go out and do that. It muddies the water for everybody. I mean, if you have a bad foundation or something's not done right, every cold call you're going to have, it's going to get harder and harder like it already is. I mean, a 300 to 2, Jason's a killer. And 300 cold calls to go 2 appointments. That's what the average rate is, I think, right now, honestly. Like I've dialed out of phone books and dialed through pages and pages before you actually get through to somebody you can talk to. And it's not just that it's literally it's at the point where the gatekeeper is being told not to let anybody through. Like you have to come with some crazy tactics and some things to get through. But I mean,
that stuff is actually pretty fun too.
Absolutely. I love gatekeepers.
You definitely turn that into a game.
Yeah, they love me.
They love me too. I remember, I know when I hear people calling, and I can tell it's a cold call. Like if I'm at like a perfect example is when I'm at my fiance's work and they get a call, like the Yelp person will call. Oh man, you see right away the person's just like, ugh. And it's because they give them no reason to talk to them. Like if you're trying to roll right over the person who is answering the phone and you don't care anything about what they do or who they are, which a lot of people make that mistake. I definitely made that mistake when I was first making cold calls.
Yeah, you did. I was there.
Yeah, he was there. But it's an easy trap to fall into because gatekeepers can be your biggest asset. Like if you get them to believe in what you're saying and they like you and they're invested in it, they have the business owner's ear and they're going to be able to influence them in a positive way to what you have to say. And if you would have just ran them over right off the bat, I mean, you're going to be making 1,000 calls per one deal.
Here's the first thing I always say is stop calling them gatekeepers, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
They're literally door openers.
Habit.
90% of the time, they're the ones who make the decision. If you show them the value that you have, because you guys aren't just another marketing call. If you're selling it, if you have an SEO program, and SEO works, you're bringing value. And especially if you're doing lead generation and rank and rent, I mean, there's going to be a return on investment on these things because you're not just selling hope in this point. You're literally selling a solid lead looking for their services. Yeah. It's a huge difference. And I mean, it actually, for the first time in advertising and honestly, my entire time in it, down to the phone book, down to like smoke signals back when I used to sell those. But it's the first time that we can actually give performance-based programs. It's something that I've always looked into doing. That's why I've been so into rank and rent, is because of that fact. Is I can come in and I can monitor, and I know that if they're not getting the calls to pay for my program and make money, then I'm going to go ahead and put fire on the outside of that thing. I'm going to grab a couple more keywords and rank it. I'm going to get them those calls. And then once that happens and they're set there, they're going to continue to get those for the next month. And it builds up. But one thing that's been very successful with my clients and what we've done is the fact that I've had almost every client that I've had that actually pays attention to their marketing and kind of goes with it increase from month to month. because they're not looking forward to paying that bill, because we're like every other advertising program creating an overhead. We're not.
Yeah.
We're something that's paying their overhead. And when they're making money and you walk in and show them how many of those clients and how much that revenue came in, the conversation isn't, are you going to pay the next month's bill? It's how much more do you want to put in to see that much more of a return? So it's always the increased conversation. I love that about this industry.
And I mean, with the way we're doing it, it's great because we don't have to, we can sleep at night, guys. We can sleep at night.
I don't sleep at night.
He never sleeps because he's always working, but I sleep for him. And trust me, I sleep great.
I appreciate that too. I really appreciate that.
No, but I mean, for me with sales, I never felt good in a job selling something that I felt wasn't performing, or no matter what it was, internet or, whatever it was that I was selling at the time. Like if I'm selling, I was selling satellite internet for a while. I felt horrible. I felt horrible. I would never buy it in a million years. And, I mean,
satellite internet.
But I mean, the whole point is, we're fixing the industry, man. Now we can feel good about what we do. We can.
And I want to show you guys. So what we're kind of getting at with that is we're getting some series out there. We're also launching our reseller program real soon here. I know I've been saying for the last few days we're going to get it out. I don't want to let it out early and it be subpar for you guys.
It's worth the wait, guys, for sure. It's worth the wait.
Right now, it's perfect for the client. I mean, you're going to be able to get it in. You're going to be able to throw your local SEO over your shoulders. You're going to be able to, if you're a startup, literally build yourself residual income off it and make money off it at the same time. Like, we're going to come in and the whole goal, again, like I said, is to help this industry. Like, this is what puts a roof over my kid's head and feeds the family as far as sales go. I want to see it keep succeeding. And
Keeps
right now,
kid.
I got to feed this guy. Yeah. I mean, right now, the article that I just read, and I'm going to highlight on this again, is the fact that online marketing, that it's in the multiple billions, and I'll pull up the numbers here in a little bit, is how much spend has gone into marketing in period. But for the first time, this last couple months, the spend on online marketing finally caught up with television. So think about that for a second. When was the last time you watched TV?
I mean, I watch Netflix, dude.
Do you see ads on Netflix?
No.
Neither. I mean, how?
No.
It's they don't know. One, they don't know. You guys got to go out and show them. But two, it's the muddied waters. Another huge reason for this, and in my opinion is big, is that right when the digital trend turned, you had people like phone books and newspapers where their revenue is just dying off, but they still have this massive database and client base where, they just come running and dive right into the digital market and say they're now an SEO company or web design company. And
what would you call it? A desperate pivot?
I don't know what I call
Desperate
that.
pivot?
I call it a cannonball in the concrete.
Clinging on for life?
It depends on what side of the fence you're on, I guess. Yeah, no. So it's you come in, and we all know, if you do any SEO or know, that if you have had a company come in and build your local citations up, which they say they do, but not actually optimize them, not actually come in and connect them together. I mean, you're going to have, when it comes to the next guy doing it and they release it, like some companies refuse to release it. Like there's a couple out there that if you break the contract with them, they just kind of lock them up with whatever information's on there. You change your number a year later, you've got this listing floating out there that you can't claim.
Yeah.
The misinformation is actually crushing you. And then we got guys picking up your SEO program. You start paying to want to go for the big stuff. But again, foundation, you're going to crumble.
It's like cancer for your business. Your business literally has cancer.
It's like cancer for the industry. Yeah. I feel bad. I mean, because when they say they have been burnt, they've been burned. They have.
They're being burnt. They're burning.
Now, again, another thing too that I'm excited about too is with our local program, the digital branding solution, we do actually have the suppressant systems in place now. So we're actually able to go and we're able to see every piece of misinformation out there, bring it in and squash it completely or merge it up 100%. There's even the ones that are blocked out by the big there's the big monopoly party. I'm not going to say a name.
Yeah.
But that you can't actually even get into anymore. I don't know if you guys have tried to claim a Yahoo local lately. But yeah, you're now going through another company system, monopoly.
Yeah.
But we can pass go for you. Collect the $200 and we'll go from there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's another thing that it is. We can
Free
crush
parking.
all that out. We'll build the foundation, guys. The foundation is everything. And I'll show you again those numbers. I mean, it's literally that 11,000 in a quarter in 3 months was a service business, a mobile service business. We're talking literally and I've got 3 to 4 of them that had numbers like that. We're talking about moving companies. We're talking about carpet cleaning companies that are, I mean, what does that average out to a day? I think 1 month there was 800 calls.
Yeah, it's a lot of calls.
Yeah, local market, hyper local targeting.
A day,
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll
have to do the math.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll bring those results in. Now that I think about it, I should be pulling up the call systems and showing those.
Yeah.
So I see here. I'll show you guys a couple of the tactics we use here. Now it's kind of what I'd show you. So, like I said, we show the first thing as far as coming in and trying to do a lead generation for attorneys and rank and rent. In that industry, one is making yourself the authority. And I know you guys have heard that before, just unsure how to do it. It's not just jumping on a YouTube or on a screen and doing like this. I mean, you look at any of those videos that are in that search when you look up Oakland SEO for attorneys. Sure, I'm talking in them, but I'm not in one of them. First reason is first impressions. Like, don't get to stand there and actually convince them. I don't want them to see this pretty blonde or this guy. But we'll go. You can check them out. I mean, the SEO, Oakland SEO for attorneys. You'll see my videos of the top 3. You'll see the article. That's how we became the authority in an area. I do this in most rank and rents. I do because in rank and rent, I'm not just going to build one site and then rank and rent it. I mean, we're dominating an entire area. There's multiple cases where I have, let's say there's 10 cities surrounding one main city or the capital. We'll go in and we'll take every single one of them. I've got multiple businesses where it's Chandler, like Phoenix. Phoenix, we got, Phoenix, we got Scottsdale, Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, all ranking maps and ranking in search. And
that
that's
doesn't even count all the other cities that we're building up.
Yeah. That started as one, and that's one industry. And now this industry is able to branch off to more industries, and it's
yeah.
I guess
we're riding the wave now.
Just kidding. No, but it's
we're not
good
yet,
because like I said, we're able to take those and dump those sales funnels essentially into business owners who want the business, who want to work for it. So we don't just come out and mass sell those things out like Amazon's trying to do.
Nah, man.
No names.
No names.
All right. So a couple more guys will show you a few more results here and a few more tactics we did. So we tried everything. I mean, cold email. Jason's gonna kill me right now. Maybe I targeted wrong. I don't have a lot of experience in direct mail. It's never been my thing. I've always thought it as a postcard. It's gonna get thrown away or put to junk. I mean, but then again, I'm kind of an anomaly. I mean, you look at my phone right now. I got 40,000 emails that are unread. But no, that's not the important ones. It's just because I have 10 different emails connected to the one and it's lead gen now. So,
right.
Yeah, not my main ones. I answer everybody that.
The power of lead gen.
Yeah. So but we tried that. The email. We used the MailChimp and kind of went nuts, and we actually went real targeted with it. So show this real quick so you can kind of see an idea of what we sent here. Got anything to chime in on that cold email system there, Jason?
No, it's good, man.
I know you got more. I don't mean to bag on it. I know it's something you got a lot more statistics than I do on. So I've always been I like direct interaction. I don't like just slinging. I don't like it in mass quantity and mass scaling. It's just my style, though. I've always been more of a targeted approach. Like even with my SEO and lead generation and the rank and rent sites, I mean, I'm doing them to where I'm targeting specific keywords. I know exactly that they're converting keywords because we tested the market and tested the keywords for so long. Then we're able to actually test the area, know based on incomes, house values, all those different things come into play, and know what and where we need to target. So I consider my approach a sniper rifle compared to what I look at email as a shotgun blast. So
you did this in a different campaign. I'm pretty sure it was for your own SEO business.
Which one?
Brandel Branding.
No, yeah, which campaign?
When you were doing the video emails with the
those were killer.
Those were but again, those were sniper emails for sure.
Yeah, and most people know about those. I mean, putting in the work is a big one on that. But actually, what he's talking about is going in and doing an actual video audit. The video audits, if you're a startup and just starting an SEO, I highly suggest jumping into them. They say they work. They are a lot of work, but it's because they work.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a rhyme or just too many times using the same word.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
I mean, Rihanna says it a lot in that one song.
who's Rihanna?
Work. Is that Rihanna? Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Whack, 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 whack.
Sound like a Netflix thing.
He doesn't get out of the house much, guys.
So yeah. But here's a look at it. But the site audits, if you want, I'll actually put one on here too, because it is really important. But if you actually grab somebody's site and you plan the thing out before you do it, I mean, you're going to throw it into SEMrush. You're going to see what's wrong automatically. You're going to see if they don't have anything close to their competitors on backlinks. You're going to see where they're ranking, if they're ranking for the right keywords, if they're ranking for the wrong keywords. You can see what competitors are spending more money on that have been doing it longer. You'll find something. You'll find a pain point. But at the same time, you need to find a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they'll need to recover. So when you come through and you have an on-screen video that says, "Hey, I did this for you at no charge. I did a professional audit of your website, and I found some things that are concerning that you need to see." And that's all the title is around. And you actually go through and it's you talking and just driving them or walking them through their own website, their own traffic, which you're hitting the numbers right, so they know what you're saying is correct, and you're really bringing value to them. And I always leave the conversation at the end. I'll kind of drop the pain point on you and show you how that works. But at the end of the conversation, I always leave it and let them know that this is value. You can take this video, an SEO company or your current designer, if you're savvy enough yourself, you can go in there and do this. I'm giving you the roadmap to fix this problem. But at the same time, if you want it done and then you want it scaled, or you want it done correctly the first time, I'm available for a phone call. And you end it at that, but you bring in that pain point, you bring in that compliment right after. So it's like, I notice you're up there ranking, you've got a ton of keywords. I mean, but at the same time, I also noticed that those keywords don't get you any phone calls. Are you paying for those keywords because you wanted to get calls or because you didn't?
Right.
You love those, don't you?
Oh yeah.
You make them uncomfortable. But at the same time,
in a logic trap.
Yep. At the same time, you can drop the value of that. Your website's actually amazing and perfect for converting. It's not a website product or problem. If we can get you in front of the keywords that people are actually looking to spend money on, then it's going to be conversion. And it's a true fact because it's what you're seeing and you're giving them, again, the roadmap to help them. So you can provide value all the time with this. So again, here's one of the emails that I actually sent. This is actually MailChimp sent out. Just a huge picture. I'm cocky. I don't care. This one actually got more open in response than the other ones that didn't have it. But it just comes in. It's real simple. It had the video right in the middle. Just, hey, click this. We're number one in the spot. Click here to schedule a meeting. Multiple call to actions. Once they watch the video, it's chock full of call to actions. But why this is perfect for you, click here, click here, click here. Just call to action after call to action, but it's real short, real sweet. The email I feel was built right. It got a lot of opens, not a ton of conversion. We had a ton of people click there though and go to the next section. And since we were running that mail program, when we developed the call list, we were able to have in front of us who actually had opened it. So then we had that branding effect. Even though we said Brandel Branding, or maybe we shot over an email real quick when they're in front of a computer, we're told them to do that Google search on the open call. Once they saw, again, that big old picture right there on the screen, they automatically had a kind of a snap in the back of their head of the marketing effect and that branding effect. So they knew our brand when they picked up the call. And this is something I do a lot. It's a great system to use there. So like I said, again, I want to help not so much as with this portion of getting to the top. I mean, like I said, there's a million ways to do that. We can actually help and show you the my map system or my business listing systems. This is more the struggle that everybody's having, especially SEOs, is connecting with the business owner, and not only connecting, but showing the product off correctly. I mean, it's all product from what I've heard in pitches. I've gone through tons of pitches with people. Product. Like, I mean, nobody cares.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going to the dealership and you're buying a car, do you ask the sales guy how the engine works, or do you ask him what color he's got it in the back?
Or how fast does it go?
Or how fast does it go? Or, can it fit 5 people or 7 people? You only care about what you want the car for. You don't care how much gas mileage. I mean, maybe if that's what you're looking for, but like you might not necessarily care about this, that, or the other. So if the sales guy on the lot is telling you about how it's got the sport trim and the rims are 2 inches bigger than the other package, and You're just getting turned off to the car.
Is there horses in this?
You're just getting turned off to the car.
Yeah, I don't know shit about cars. So
you know, I mean, my thing. But that's what people do with SEO all day. Oh, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this.
Rich snippets and data cards are lined up perfectly on the site. Google Crawlbot. No, guys, come on. It's the value. We can get you in front of somebody looking to spend money. That's your elevator pitch every time. Switch it around and start with that and see how many people hang up on you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's in it for them? People don't care what you know until they know that you care. And if you don't know anything about their business or anything that they're doing or anything that they do in the market or how their day-to-day goes at all, I mean, they don't care if you have the perfect situation because they feel like you don't know anything about them. And at the end of the day, people are going to buy from people they're comfortable with and people that they trust, not people who they think have the fanciest program.
One more huge tip here. And this is one that this is going to be big, guys. When you're watching this, write it down, put it on a Post-it note, stick it in front of you. I know your goal is obviously to bring in clients. First off, you need to switch it off. Your goal isn't to bring in clients. It's to find a business that you can bring clients for and to build that business relationship. But here it is, right? The secret. This is going to get them to stop talking about products too.
All right. Let's see
my secret is 93% close ratio. You know, I sold just under $1 million before I left Yelp too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just under that pissed me
Almost
off.
got
It was
that
time
bonus.
to go. Like, yeah, that's always my luck. But here's the secret. Stop in here. Let me turn this around here.
Look at us. We're the captain now.
Here's the biggest number one in sales. If you want to get more sales with the, especially with digital products, when you're selling something where it's just people don't understand it, they know they need it, is you need to stop selling the product. Stop trying to sell it on the open call and make a close. One call closes are great and they happen when you get somebody else on the line that 100% understands SEO and knows the value that you're going to bring. You need to, on your open calls, guys, on those cold calls, sell the appointment. All right. Your job is to educate. You've got something that can be handed off. You need to spread the value onto them. Let them leave with some knowledge so they can go handle some things themselves too. You know, show them a little bit about Google and claiming it and getting it there. I mean, anybody that talks to me on the phone, even if for any reason they walk away with something that's going to help them, every single one. And it's because it's about selling that appointment. And when you get the appointment, you're going to get the opportunity to have them in front of a computer for 20 to 30 minutes where you get to show them what you're doing. You get to show them where they're at. If you actually show somebody, I mean, the business owners, I love this industry because I'm an entrepreneur. I've had literally so many businesses and failed so many businesses. I've fallen on my face so many times. It looks like this now, but at the same time, there's so much day-to-day grind that they don't have the ability nowadays with the market and with the way revenue comes in, and that they're still advertising in the phone book and losing money left and right. They don't have the ability to go in and learn this system themselves, but they need it, even though there's some of the basic principles like social media. I mean, being on Facebook and at least getting a brand, so when somebody looks you up online, they can see your logo. And you can't even count the number of people that don't have map listings claimed. And you can get them on a computer and have them Google themselves or Google their industry, and you can show them how you can help them, and you can let them walk away with value. Even if you don't get a client that way, your word of mouth is going to spread. They're going to talk to other people about you, and they might not be ready for you, but they have friends that are. I get that referral traffic is everything. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So those are a couple of the big tips here. Again, should we give a little pre-release of what the digital branding solution is going to have?
Yeah. We might as well reward the people that stuck around this long.
Yeah. Well, this is going to stay up recorded too, so anybody can come back and watch it and get the different things. So let me see. Was there any other cool sales tactics we did on this one? I want to show the video so bad, but I don't want to give up.
Yeah.
That
we'll
much
have some more
industry.
Cool stuff for you coming.
Because this was actually that game changer, that video I showed you earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I do here, this is kind of fun. You pull this up. So I right now I have the amount of Google map listings themselves. I mean, I'm in the up to 2000s in rankings for number ones we do. I mean, one client alone has about 200 to 300, and there's a reason for it. Again, it's that local market. It's staying hyper local, and it's fixing your SEO programs at the foundation and the base. I can show you guys how to do that. We can help with that situation. But where's I getting at with that? Okay, I wanted to show something else. So one of the sites, so we have a ton of .coms, right? This is a sales tactic I did specifically for my sales guys, so they had something quick to show. So let's say that you're trying to rank and rent. Obviously, if you're doing lead generation and you're staying niche specific, you can definitely do this. Especially if you're trying to build multiple, you're trying to build clients in the base. Even if you're SEO, just selling SEO clients, build a website. And let me show you this website real quick that represents what you guys do on another .com. So, and I'll show you some kind of unique things I did with this actual one right here. 1 second. Where's my share? There we go. All right, guys. So check this out. And I'm actually going to throw this one out here so you can see. This one's live right now. You guys can go to greenseedmedia.com and check it out. But one of the sites. Now, you can tell somebody who says maybe they're not in front of a computer, but they're obviously on a cell phone. You can tell them to turn it to a speakerphone real quick on you and go ahead and pull up greenseedmedia.com, which is just a random one that you have set up, right? Now, this one we're selling to personal injury attorneys. You land on here, and it's, again, a site made to sell somebody quickly. Big, bold headlines, big red arrows, call to action. Let's schedule a meeting. I mean, everything's moving, everything's popping up, and every fold you get to, right when you hit it, there's always a call to action in the screen. And then you get to the video portion. It's this is fun, especially on mobile, because a lot of them have never even seen a lot of people haven't even seen mobile or a video put on backgrounds like this. So that one's always fun to mess with.
Yeah, and this one's cool.
But again, it's never not going to have a call to action in the middle. So somebody being on the phone, I can literally call somebody, say, check this out. Yeah, there's a testimonials. Sure, there's the products. We got one little specific on products. And then everything else is just talking about the value here. Value. This is literally a picture of the legal industry where I've currently got 66 #1 Google map listings for 66 different keywords for one person and #1 organically. So it's twice on there. And that just kind of showed off a little bit there, but it's nothing but value.
You mind if I drop a little bit of knowledge on this?
Get it, please.
So, I mean, you're not only selling when you're talking to people or emailing people, you're selling on your websites too. I know you guys get that, but laying out the content like this is so awesome because you're hitting all those emotional triggers first, which is what is going to make most people buy, no matter how detail oriented they claim they are. You know, they're going to be seeing the results. They're going to be seeing the success stories, the testimonials, and they're going to be sold. But we have the products at the bottom. But why would we even have that there if people are emotional? Well, some buyers want the details and they're going to be willing to go that far down the page, and they're going to see the details that they want, and that's going to get them to buy. And that type of buyer is more likely to stay on the page longer because they want more information, especially if everything that's on the page before you get to the detailed information on the products is value, pertinent to what they do, pertinent to stuff they'd want to know. But it's still more focused on the emotional triggers first, and then you get into the more logical stuff as you go down the funnel.
Another reason too, and another good one on there, why it sounds like that. And again, products all the way on the bottom. Finally, we do this little blurb about each portion of what we do in a program, and then another call to action. There's only so much room at the top, and my sites have phone calls coming in. When I hit search for you, your entire market will never be the same. Let me put you on top. Let me continue what I already started. So it's a rank and rent sell, but if you do your homework right on your call list and you're doing some research, and you can bring even more value with a rank and rent or a lead generation system when you do the reverse search and see what people are spending on AdWords. Okay, if you've got a guy that's sitting there spending $2,000 a month on AdWords, you can see half the words that he's spending aren't even buying keywords, and you've now got a #1 position or a top 3 or top 5 position. And you call them and say, hey, check this out. I know you're spending $100 a click on this keyword. I'm actually already there. Let's talk about having you actually take this space over. They've already gone through the motions. They're spending the money. You do have that educated buyer. You can walk them through. They're going to trigger the emotions, but you can just bring them right down to the bottom as they go through, and it's a one-call close.
Yeah.
I've had that happen hundreds of times, literally.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Sometimes the buyer's already there, and the longer you're selling them, the longer they're just waiting for you to shut up and take their money.
Especially if you've done your homework.
Yeah, and that happens. So like, that's something that you won't really catch on to at the beginning, and you're just going to need to have a lot of volume of calls. But at some point, you're going to start to realize, you're going to start to stop thinking about what you're going to say next, and you can start being more aware of what's going on. And then you're going to realize stuff like Dana just said. This guy is already sold. I just need to tell him the last thing he wants to know and ask for his business. And you can actually lose sales, and people do all day long, by overselling people. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All day long.
It's a Jedi Knight tricks.
Yep.
The one thing a lot of people that I've talked to, a lot of startups, they're coming from door to door, it's things like that. So they've kind of had the in person, and the being able to read body signs during a phone call or body language, which is huge to salespeople. I mean, you're talking to somebody, you want to see what they're actually saying, you want to see how they're reacting, and when you switch to a phone, you can't. So a big thing that you want to switch over in this is being able to actually read tonality and know the body language over the phones here. It's something that I've actually, and what I did, a little secret, I'm going to throw this one out there. I don't gamble ever. I don't do stock market investments. I believe fully investing 100% of my businesses. I don't go, when I go to Vegas. I've been to Vegas a lot, but I actually used to live just a few hours from it, but I don't go and play slot machines. I played poker for a long time. And you guys can just try this. Like, even just play go get invited to a friend's game that's having a dinner party game. But when you're playing poker, you're not gambling. You're literally playing that you can beat somebody else based on their body language, their tonality, and how they're playing the game. And it's the same thing with when you're talking to somebody on the phone, and it's a gift that you can get, and it seems like a gift, and it's not. It's just that you start listening for the language is doing when somebody's under pressure and that close range of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And it's definitely an ability that owns, and it doesn't happen right away, for sure. But I mean, that's just part of learning. That's just part of getting good at any skill. Many people say, that they can't cold call, and we're talking about all these things, or thousands and thousands of calls. It's BS if you say you can't cold call. That's like saying you can't drive a car. Like, you can't go to driving school and you can't learn how to do it. Like, it's just like when you took your first steps as a baby, you're going to fall down. But, eventually you're going to be good at sales. And
it never stops, though. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, literally over 20 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I made my first commission when I was 9. No joke. And I have not had a commission check since then. Or not had a commission check.
I have not had a commission check.
Yeah, you got it.
You should listen to me. I sold something when I was 9, and I never sold anything again.
You're missing the point. Like I said, it's I did this one time. But at the same time, like, I've never not considered myself a student. That's another favorite part of marketing and SEO. The game's always changing. It's the same thing with sales. You'll never stop finding some kind of influence or some way to learn, or something else that you can pick up on, or a new
method. And there's always going to be someone that's better at you selling in a way that you don't sell in.
Or there's not, but you still got more people to forget about. No, it's like when you play poker with me. I can literally hear the fear in your heart. That's why I win. But we'll have to get that going if anybody out there wants to.
See, I didn't listen to the fear in people's hearts. I just read a lot of books.
You played a lot of slot machines too, didn't you there, bud? All right, so I'm going to end this with one thing. I'm going to do a recorded call here. The next one we do for live SEO results, we'll bring up some more specific campaigns. We'll go over more of the path to get there. You guys can also, bring in your own to the table. We're more willing to talk to anybody about the campaigns that you got going. I've got a lot of huge results that we can show and kind of show you guys how we did. But we are going to be launching a digital branding solution soon, and it's literally a killer. It's going to be a game changer. I mean, when you guys get the proper local SEO and hyper local targeting in place, training, am I giving away too much?
Oh no, man.
I'm going to cold call anybody. Every reseller that we sign up is going to get 2 hours of sales time with me as a bonus. I'm going to throw that out there now. And I'm literally going to spend 1 hour cold calling with you virtually out of your leads list. And whatever we close, it's all you, and it's going to pay for anything that has to do with the program. But at the same time, not coming in and anything to making you charge. You just see it's going to be awesome. We'll release that.
Every delay on this program is just us adding more value for you guys and just making it a more complete program.
And I'm absolutely too picky.
And Dana's too picky, for sure.
I actually had to hand the entire design over to Ben here because I'm. If you go to brandelbranding.com, there's only 3 links. It's to the blog, and that's basically it. Reason for that is because I've scrapped the other pages and built them probably 27 times this month.
Dana's been picking at his food for too long.
Yeah, no, I'm a picky eater. All right, guys, we'll end this with a call here. I'm going to show you one of the recorded calls for Rank and Rant. I'll kind of block out the names here a little bit, but you'll see what I mean as far as real closely on picking up the body language through text, or so what it's called is the tonality. One suggestion I give you, like I said, always learn, always be learning. You know who I'm going to say? But
Say
no,
it.
I'm just kidding. I love it. He's a good guy, but I can't. His program, I feel like 90% of it is actually him trying to sell more programs. But the 10% that comes in value of each part is such a heavy 10%. It's you can go check out Jordan Belford's Straight Line Persuasion.
Oh, yeah,
and there's one. I didn't like the whole thing. I like a lot of the other stuff he said, but there's one section on tonality specifically that'll really help. And it's not so much listening to their tonality, but it's perfecting yours. Yours, you'll be able to hear other people. So
I think he talks a lot about like being the person with authority and keeping the conversation on track and things like that too, right? You're talking about? Okay,
yeah,
I've heard that one.
Seriously,
I've heard that
it's
one.
like 12 hours.
Yeah,
The whole thing is. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, hours of him selling himself. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I sold the Wolf on Wall Street. He doesn't got to sell me. I know he can sell the pen.
Right?
All right, let me switch this around here, and I'll show you guys a call, and then we're going to get here. What do we got here?
Sleep.
You're going to sleep?
Oh, yeah.
You would. Quitter. Get that out of there. We appreciate you guys sticking around, too. So keep following the group. Feel free to post as many results as you guys want. There's so many different ways to actually do what's called annotating or your
Annotate.
yeah, whatever. You can look up on your phone. You can look up Annotable, ANNOTABLE. You can actually go in.
That's
and
a mouthful.
Yeah, we're not going to go there. It's called Annotable, but you can actually pull up any image to it, and you can blur out the names around it, so you can put your results out there without other people seeing them. At the same time, I don't feel there's competition, not because I'm cocky, but because I think every single person out there is going to eventually start working together here. So,
yeah, I mean, there's more than enough to go around.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, anybody that's reached out, like it's no joke when I say that advice anytime. Anybody that's talked to me, I mean, if you guys have and you've gotten some kind of value out of it, or I've brought something to the table, I mean, they can all attest. Go ahead and put it out there on this video and let me know. But the thing is that because this is in SEO, it's all about building links, man. Yeah. There's you can say that it's plumbing is too flooded out of an industry, but what about water heaters? What about backed up toilets? I mean, there's so much business that you can all be scared.
You can get into the craziest niches too.
Yeah, and I mean, if you really are that scared of competition, I mean, back out and go find an easier niche. But with Ben here.
Look out.
Yeah.
My content's on fleek.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, I mean, there's 4,000 searches, guys. There's 13 spots for a plumber in a small city. Like, get out of here with the competition thing. Let's actually unmuddy the waters here. That's our goal.
But I mean, the longer you wait, the more we are going to take over all of it. So
good point. All right, let me see. I think this is this video right there. And if you guys feel free to, when you get to this thing, like this video for us, share it around, do your thing with it. Help us out as well. I want to get this word out there. Let's teach the masses how to bring the value.
For sure.
And we can teach this guy how to get a haircut.
Yeah, that is definitely due. This is not live video approved hair, for sure.
That's why I picked today.
That's why he picked today.
All right, hold on, guys. It's coming. I swear. Where is? What was that? What's the date today? We got the 5th.
5th, yeah.
Is
Is it still the 5th?
This one. Jan, thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll do one live sales call so you guys can put me on blast as far as critique. I know I can talk it up, but we'll do some live sales calls sometime this week as well. Feel free to jump all over those. If you find any holes, let me know.
Yeah, or me.
I really should have had this thing ready, huh?
Yeah.
Actual recording. Let's see here. That's the only edit I'm going to do on this entire thing, just so everybody knows.
When we're getting ready and not saying anything, we're leaving all of that there. You just have to watch us sit awkwardly.
Or when we're pretending that we didn't think the mic was on.
Oh, the mic's not on. We can say all the swear words we want to say and talk about nasty shit.
No. What's going on? Oh, that's why.
So you're cutting that out so I can say shit.
No, I'm not.
Shit.
You're gonna make me look real good in this video, then I appreciate it. All right, guys, yeah, here we go. Nope.
Pretty sure all your clients are going to be very shocked when they found out that your friend swears. Oh no.
I have friends.
Oh no.
Your friends, man.
I won't tell them you pay me to keep
You're
your
not a friend. Number. Here we go.
Be prepared.
There it is. Okay. Which one did I call on? Okay. Anything else? If anybody's got any questions too, if you guys are watching, feel free to reach out on this one. You see any questions up on that? I haven't even been monitoring the questions.
Oh, man, me either.
Jason, you see any questions?
No questions.
All right, cool. You got any questions?
I got a lot of questions.
Fire away, man. But while I'm finding this, while I'm pulling this up, I want to make sure I'm pulling up the right one. You can do it. Fire one off.
Sure.
Jason's actually killer at interviews. We did a sales interview. He's gonna release someday for me, and it's yeah. Go for it, Jason. Ask me a question. On the spot.
Sure. How do you get to 6-figure? Like, what's the best advice to get to 6-figure?
Definitely.
That's the question.
As far as 6-figure, building a 6-figure income for yourself as a freelance position, as far as closing 6 figures in sales. I mean, which way are you looking at it? Building 6 figures into a business? What would your goal particularly be?
Anyway, freelance would be best.
Freelance, just going out and selling a product? I mean, honestly, it's strategic targeting and hustle. I can sit there and say that, it's 6 figures. It was easy to get to. It absolutely wasn't. I'm still literally grinding 18 hours a day right now to get there. But I made it a point when I was freelancing, because I've always had a side hustle and always been freelancing. I mean, I've done SEO for so long. I've always had at least 2 to 3 clients with me. So I was always building them income and building income that way. And you always go, and since when you have a small amount of clients like that, you're able to funnel in and you can bring them the best results in what you do. Let's say you're not doing SEO based. Let's say you're a web design company. You can come in there and just keep improving on that website. Keep testing stuff on there. I'll throw a chat bot on that thing. Keep improving for them. And they'll eventually start talking about you and start sending your friends though a little bit. But I know they say quit your job and go out and be an entrepreneur, but I'm also, like I said, I believe in strategic decisions that I do not break it. Before I left the full time and went fully into entrepreneurship again recently, which was about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I made sure that my actual side hustle had brought in and just about matched the salary which I was making, which was at that point. So, I mean, some people can run and dive in and try, but at the same time, I'm not one of those people, just for the fact that I've got kids to feed.
I wouldn't recommend it either. I mean, And I mean, I have a
You're
girlfriend,
single?
don't get me wrong, but I don't have kids to feed. I'm not married with kids. That's what I'm saying. I do have a fiance. What I'm saying is,
That's pretty recent too.
Yeah, that is pretty recent. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I totally lost my train of thought. But what I'm saying is,
You're in a different boat.
I've been in a situation where I'm trying to start businesses too soon. I'll start making the money you think you're going to be making, and your bills are still there every month. You're not in a position to succeed at that point.
Yeah. Again, at the same time, I mean, I'm a firm believer. I perform best when my back's against the wall. But if your back's against the wall, you're cold, tired, and hungry.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to perform optimally.
You can burn the boats too much.
But at the same time, it's all about hustle, man. If you've got something, go out and sell it. Find a million ways to do it. Also, find a way to automate it. I mean, I told this same thing to you before. Is go put fake ads on Craigslist until you get calls coming in or something somebody wants to buy. All right, so we're gonna. Does that work for you, Jason?
Very good advice. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. We'll start this recorded call here, and we'll end it at this.
One with those two. Can you hear us, Jason?
Yeah, sounds good.
That's funny. Hey, Jason, that was actually the recording. This is both of us on a cold call. And we three-wayed in, and I just asked you if you could hear us all right. That was the recording, not me.
We work specifically with attorneys.
All right, guys. So here's a cold call. Jason actually set this appointment up. We jumped on it together to talk to him.
The director of operations and marketing here, so I handle the acquisition of leads.
Very cool. You guys do a lot of lead generation systems then?
We do, yeah. We're a moderate volume game, so we probably process in the ballpark of 500-ish leads a month and sign about 15 to 20% of it.
Very cool. All right, that's what I like to hear. The first one office I've actually worked with that has a lead department like that. So, and actually, I own Brandel Branding out in Arizona, and it's an SEO company and marketing company. It basically works on digital strategies. But we work specifically with attorneys. The biggest criminal defense attorneys that I've had as clients for over a year now. Doing their complete SEO, we basically dominate in the area too. But with this system that I'm doing out in Oakland, I told you about it, but I basically taken a website and we ranked it to number one. And right now, if you were to look up, Oakland dog bite lawyer, Oakland dog bite attorney, it's basically the 4 to 5 main keywords that have to do with actually hiring an attorney. 2 or 3 of those are multiple spots on the first page. What we're going to do with the site as far as this goes is we're looking for a partnership to work with an attorney and hand off either the leads, or I was looking more on this one to do like a rank and rent situation. So where we're actually able to project your guys' site over the top of it anytime they click on it. So it's basically renting out the number 1 spot for dog bite attorneys on Google right now. And is that something you guys are working with as far as lead generation, or what's the system you guys are usually using?
I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. You heard. You can go ahead and play it back. The only time I say SEO is when I talk about running an SEO company, and I say it twice in the whole conversation, just because what we were talking to a marketing director. That's the only reason there. So, listen, it's bring the value, stop pitching the product, and start selling the appointment, because then you actually get to sit down there. So, and then remember again, you're actually selling the product that for the first time in a long time in advertising, you're actually able to bring ROI back to advertising. And essentially, if you set up your agreements like I do, a performance-based system to the table, and your clients are going to get revenue, they're going to get paid with them. So not because of them. Remember that. Anything else, man?
I think that's a good one. I think that's good. We'll leave it at that.
All right, Jason, anything else on there, buddy? From Canada? Or any more closing facts before we get out of here? And we got a massive delay on us.
I'll have to upgrade from these tin cans to Canada.
Running by string. All right, guys. Like I said, go ahead and like this, share it, get ready for the digital branding solution coming out next week. We'll have some more information on it.